I had a wonderful time talking with Gerard McAllister, and we covered a lot of diverse subjects. For example, his love of history and his travels through Europe with his wife. He's growing up in the valley, one of 8 boys, and when that crucial time of his life came about when he decided to have his own business, Assertive Marketing, and what it means to him from a relationship perspective with his renewable energy customers. We had a bit of a laugh and almost a little bit of a cry. So without further ado, let's get stuck into it. When we were talking about travel, we were slightly talking about travel offline. And I know you love your travel. So tell us about some of the places you've been to.
Oh, well, mainly Europe. We used to always go there. By the way,
Yeah.
we don't do that anymore. No.
How come?
It's become too expensive.
Yeah.
And Europe is changing, and we've seen a lot of it. We actually just go to Vietnam every year now. There's a resort just to chill out.
Right.
It's just unbelievably fantastic.
Yep.
But as far as the trips we used to go on, gosh, our first one, as in together, Janice and I, that's my wife, it was 20 years ago. Yeah, 2000.
Oh, is that when you started?
Yeah, 2000.
Yeah, right.
And that was like an all-round trip all around the world. Things like Rome, Venice, Paris, all the main stops that you go. And we wanted to do that just so we can sample the places that we wanted to go. And then we even ended up in the US and things like that. And but after that, we realised that we just loved Europe. Just loved.
What about it? What's the main thing?
My main thing is England. I'm a bit of a history buff, so I just love going to the old castles and just checking out all those places. It was just unbelievably fantastic for me. And what I used to do beforehand is coming up to the 6 months prior, I'll be watching all these documentaries and just love it, just love it. And then you soak it up, and that would decide where we go and where we stop and what we do, so kind of thing. And I also love London, but I fell in love with Vienna. We went there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So, and what about Salzburg? Did you go there as well?
We did stay at Salzburg.
Yeah.
The last European trip we did was one of the best we ever did. It was 2018. And we started in Lucerne in Switzerland, and then made our way, then went to Zurich, and then made our way to Innsbruck, all the way through Austria, and just on that train all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
And we went to Salzburg, and then we went to a place called St. Wolfgang, which is just stunning, absolutely stunning. You got these hotels, and you got a lake, and you got the mountains in the background. It's just white snow peaked, beautiful, beautiful place.
Picture postcard kind of stuff.
Oh, absolutely. It was incredible. I just couldn't stop taking photos everywhere. Not selfie ones, I want beauty kind of thing. So, and then we ended up in Vienna, which we had been there before. And it's just a beautiful little town, Vienna, or city. And I just love it. So, yeah. And of course, London. I just love London. That was our last trip. We did 17 nights and we just stayed in a flat in London.
My father's favourite town, well, really it's not a town, it's a city, was London. But when he escaped Yugoslavia, he spent a lot of time in Salzburg, and he has some really fond memories of there. He said it was real, and even way back when, and he came out to Australia in 56, so this is just before then. He said it was so clean. There's a river that goes through Salzburg, and it's just beautiful. He's got all these shots of black and white shots of him with his mates smoking cigarettes, looking really cool. And it looks so nice. I've never been to Europe myself, but what about the buildings? That's what blows me away about seeing pictures of Europe. Those massive, amazing buildings, and I always think, how the heck did they build those things?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just remarkable. Some of the. If you look at someone like Edward I in England, he's a bad king, as most people, say he tried to take over Scotland and Wales, but what he did when he was sort of in his retreating, he'd taken over, Wales. He set fortified places so the Welsh couldn't attack him. And they were all castles.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's just like, talk a bit, Edward's big build. It was incredible. He just had all these castles, and they're all scattered around that side of England, Wales, and they're just stunning. Some are, not standing now, but it was just absolutely stunning. And they're all fortresses.
That's what blows me away. A lot of them are fairly intact after not just 100, but sometimes 500-600 years. We build a house in Australia, it's likely to last 50, 60 years. And it's phenomenal the workmanship and the attention to detail that they put into these. I mean, effectively, most of them were stone structures, weren't they?
Yeah. Because they had the craftsmen, the stonemasons, I think they were called.
Yeah.
And they were just, that was their job. That's all they did.
Yeah.
They didn't go to nightclubs. They didn't do anything. That was their job. And they were commissioned to work for a king or a prince or whatever, or in your place, or in Europe. And it's stunning. And they last. So
they do last. Any favourites in Europe? Favourite buildings that really stand out, or?
Believe it or not, Westminster Abbey, I do like, because they have all the coffins. What they call coffins? Sarcophaguses. We'll have to edit that actually.
Mausoleum?
Well, it's like it's like we have plaques of people who died, but these guys really did some good stuff. Big monuments, but they're scattered all around the abbey.
Right.
Yeah, and you basically walk around going, this is Edward I is, and there's his wife, and it's just amazing, And they even did things as with the different kings that came through. Like, for example, Queen Elizabeth. When Elizabeth I, she beheaded what's her name? Mary's Queen of Scots, right?
So what did you say? Bedded?
Beheaded.
Oh, I was going to say, I don't know if you bedded her.
She beheaded.
He beheaded her, right?
So they had her grave there, or her plaque there. So the next king, who was actually related to Mary Queen of Scots through son, or put his mother's on top of it, just to show.
Wow, power play.
Just to show. So they're actually the two people they were cousins. So those two people are actually right together, yet one killed the other. Yeah, and you think it's just fascinating.
And we don't have that in Australia. Like we have our Indigenous population who've been around for 60 to 80,000 years. But when it comes to the Western concept, we've only been around officially since 1770 thereabouts. I should know that, and we don't have that culture yet, I don't think.
No.
But funnily enough, we do have some of the interesting styles of buildings that were built very similar to a lot of the European buildings in the 1800s. You just have to go into the GPO of Melbourne and see Flinders Street Station, the old post office. They were built really, in that old style, which fascinates me again. And the churches. I can't believe the stonework and the size of those stones and the precision. It's remarkable. You can't even do it today.
No,
it's just
no. And you have to look at some of those cathedrals and churches were commissioned by either a prince or a king or whatever. And the historians will probably misquote me, and so I'll say that's not true, mate. But a lot of the time it was they're trying to buy their way to heaven.
Yeah.
So they had a lot of money. So they would commission something for the local priory, and put everything into it, everything they could into it, because in a sense they're going, this will buy me to heaven, because I know I've done some pretty bad stuff, So yeah, and that's why there is such craft work.
That's your passion is obviously one of your passions is history. What you've learned from history, going and traveling and doing a lot of travel with your partner, do you bring back some of what you've learned or insights into your work, like into assertive marketing? And I'll just say, Gerard runs Assertive Marketing, which he'll explain a little bit more about later on in the podcast. But I mean, from a marketing perspective, are there things that you've gone, wow, I can bring that back into my daily work life as well?
Yeah, in a sense, it's a good question. It's more about the fact that if you look at it that way, you could be thinking about branding, right? Where these, as we just said, that these castles and cathedrals have been there for thousands of years, right? That is strong. No one's going to turn around and say that Westminster Abbey is I really don't know who they are. They do. Where if you looked at it in a sense, I don't really do that, but just now you've asked me that question.
Yeah.
If you looked at it in a sense, having a good brand, and not necessarily changing or not keeping faith to that brand,
right,
is really important, which will make it last longer and longer and longer. Because
that's really interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, but that doesn't necessarily imply a static state, though, does it? But there's certain things that should remain, because longevity is a fantastic thing in any business, isn't it?
Absolutely,
it's a hard one, though, isn't it? Can you maybe expand on that just a little bit?
Yeah. Well, the branding thing, it's the way I'll put it this way, right? The modern marketing, with the Google ads and that kind of thing, and we'll get you number one on Google kind of situation, has its place, but a lot of that destroys the actual real essence of marketing, which is a lot of the brand. A lot of it, not just a logo. It's what you do, it's the way you do it, and it's who you do it for. So if you're just flashing out ads and saying buy now, buy now, buy now, sure, that's great, and there's an industry that does that. At Assertive Marketing, we don't do that. We don't get into the Google ads. It's I think it's a race at the bottom. But when it comes to branding, that lasts a long time.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
I think what we'll do is, because I think I've jumped ahead a little bit. We're going to come back to it. We're going to talk about this in detail, because I think it's incredibly important for anyone who's either starting a small business, has an existing small to medium business, and wants to understand what they need to do. And I want to hear, obviously, your history within assertive marketing, because you've been going for quite a few years. But let's jump back. Let's go back to the beginning. Now, you grew up in a family with a shit ton of brothers. I believe there was 6 brothers, wasn't there? 6?
So which one are you getting rid of?
What do you mean?
7 brothers.
Oh, 7 brothers. So
Yes.
there's 8 boys.
8 boys.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
That would have been interesting at dinner time.
You mean the soup kitchen?
No, but seriously, really?
Yeah. It was. We were provided for. There were some hard times. During the 70s, there was a strike, because it was all down the Latrobe Valley in the coal mines, I'll call them now. But
Yeah, so power's in your blood, sort of. You understand? Yeah.
absolutely. And the unions went on strike for I think it was 8 months or something.
Wow, I vaguely remember. Yeah, that's way back. Yeah.
And I remember having, Wheat Bix for dinner, kind of thing. Yeah. The difference was we didn't have milk with it. We had jam and butter. So
Wow.
Yeah, and thought it was odd.
These things really stick in your mind, don't they? When there's these kind of events that really imprint. It must have been hard, for your parents, regardless of, there's so many people involved. There's so many kids. And were you the oldest, or where were you in the
Way. I was the second youngest.
second youngest?
Yeah. 7th son of a 7th son. But
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, look, I look back on that and go, there's leadership qualities in that.
Yeah.
You had Dad, the quite silent type. He was from Belfast, and that comes with who he is, and they're very strong people, Irish Catholic, and he was silent, quiet type, But Mum was the one that really, she was the one that controlled everything. She was very strong, very, and she had to be, and Dad wanted to step in line when he'd see someone not listening to Mum, and you didn't want Dad's wrath, so
Yeah.
don't bad people. She kept a strong ship. So her leadership was, if you look in a business sense, her leadership was amazing. She could have been a great CEO, that woman.
Yeah, right. And this is, I'll jump a little bit here. The whole nature and nurture thing. What, like, is it a 50-50 thing? What's your opinion? Because I ask this of a lot of people. What's your opinion? Like, is a good CEO, are they made, or can you learn to be a good CEO?
Wow. You could learn, but nature has a lot to do with it.
I tend to think that nature overrides nurture a little bit, but it's debatable. So you've got 8 brothers. You must have played sports when you were young.
A lot of good footy games.
Yeah, I was going to say, were you in teams where you actually played with your brothers, or were the years a little bit?
Well, interesting. Every second year, I was with my brother Danny, who was a year older than me. So we were between 10 years, by the way. They're 8 kids. So we interchanged, and that was playing soccer, by the way. And then later on, when I started playing Aussie rules, I played with him a few times, but that was as adults kind of thing. So, but yeah. But they were all good football players, or all good soccer players, my brothers. And I used to get why can't you be like your brother?
Oh, really? Or like your brothers in your case? Wow.
Yeah.
But the AFL, you were a fairly decent player, AFL.
I joined late. I joined my first year at Newborough. It's in the country. And that first year, we won a premiership.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And
that's pretty good.
I was in the Rezzies. I was in the second. So I'm not going to claim from the other guys. Yeah, I got 1988. But there were some guys that just went, how did you do that, mate? I'd grown up with these kids all my life. They'd played footy all their life. I roll up one year, and the seconds and seniors, and I think the thirds also won the premiership. So yeah,
that's cool.
And it was just like a thank you and good night.
Yeah, that's cool.
I can go now.
Very good Jim Carrey impersonation. Yeah. It's sport to me, like especially team sports, is it really teaches about relationships, doesn't it? Like when you play something like tennis or table tennis, it's a different ethos. It's a different kind of approach. When you're playing in, whether it's the real football, soccer, or AFL, you're in a team, and it's definitely not the individual. The individual plays a role, but it's all about these relationships.
Yeah,
and that's important in life in general. I'd say.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, because you fill a spot. And here's the thing too, everyone goes, well, you played Aussie rules, yeah, but that was only the country. But every level has its achievements and it's hard times. It's like, sure, anyone who played sport as a kid and as they grew up, sure, you didn't make the highest level, but you played in the level where you could be, and there were guys that were better than you. You were better than others. It's still a challenge. It's no matter what level you're on. So you're still going through a similar thing. I'm sure you're not getting paid, heaps of millions of dollars for it, but you're on that field and you're all fighting for that ball. So when it comes to leadership, and teamwork is when you see a player do certain things and you go, I want to be with this guy. I want to follow him. Someone who's just taking a mark, kicking a goal all the time. When I played years ago at Wallen, I won a premiership that year too.
That's really good.
I was half forward, right?
Yeah.
Half forward flanker, and the first full forward we had, I'll call him Macca. That was his name. First full forward we had, he would, if he couldn't get the ball, he would tap it over because he knew I'd be running. Right, and I'd get it and kick the goal because I'd all be running past, right, and that was great. And I kicked, I think, 36 goals that year, and in country league is pretty good. But then when they changed the dynamics of the team, they put another guy in there, Dermy, who became the full forward, and he was just brilliant. He caught everything, which made me redundant almost.
Wow.
Yeah, because overnight I'd gone, there's no tap on, there's no roving. Mind you, he kicked about 80 goals that year too.
Wow.
And he only did the last half as full forward. So,
gee,
yeah.
He was good.
He was very good, yeah. But, he destroyed my...
Destroyed my career. It's interesting. Football's such a physical game, but it's also a thinking person's game. And again, as we said, like with relationships, you learn to be with other people, and you learn, I think one thing is you learn how to read other people too, don't you? With team sports, whereas individual sports, you might be able to read one other person, but it's completely different. So really completely different thing.
But the teammanship is just, it's there forever.
Mm.
I remember we had a coach, at Newbury, the first grand final we won, and he said, these guys around the room, if you win tomorrow, it's not before, if you win tomorrow, every one of you have a common bond, and that is this game.
Oh.
You can meet someone 10 years later, but you have a bond. And it was a really good speech, and I believe that. It's like I can meet anyone who I haven't met in years. I go to the past reunions, and there's immediate, hey, remember that guy? Or you feel this thing, and that's what teamwork does. If you've, and it's the same in business. If you're on a good team, you feel that same thing. You're all working for that one goal. It's fun. It's great. Yeah,
it is. And at the end of the day, we're just I'll get philosophically. We're just a summation of our experiences. I want to move on to your early education, as in, when I say early, I mean as in high school, and when you start to get an inkling for the whole idea of marketing. Because I don't know yourself. You and I used to work together many years ago, but I never really asked you that question when you first went, gee, I like this marketing gig. Well, when did that sort of happen?
I was never really technical. I couldn't, I couldn't, if I pulled something apart, I couldn't put it back together. And if I pulled it apart, it's probably because I just threw it because I was angry. Because I didn't know how to work it,
Yeah.
But I was good at the social sciences. I was good at economics. Economics, it just made sense. Supply and demand, it just made sense. It's like, yeah, of course, if everyone wants something, the price is going to go up. And this is early school days. So marketing really wasn't a thing then, right? But I had that thing where I just knew there was something there. There was something, and it was to do, a lot of it's psychology as well. I enjoy, working out why we do things. One of my favorite theories is Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Yep.
Mainly because I get it, I understand it, and I can see myself being in those certain phases.
For the viewers and listeners who don't know what that is, can you give a rough outline of what that is?
It's a theory on motivation, why we do things, right? And it starts with basically, I'll probably need a diagram here to go through the actual things, but it starts on a basic level, which is to survive.
Mm-hmm.
So that's your basic level of motivation. You're hungry, you need to eat. And then there's the next level of motivation, right? And there's the next one. And then there's belonging. And then there's being loved, things like that, right? And right up to the top is the conceptualization of life kind of thing, which not many of us get. But I believe it's interchanging. You can be at any time, at any stage at one time, and that's what motivates you to do things. For example, if there's a certain level, the level of belongingness or feeling safe, or self-esteem, things like that. You get that. If you looked at self-esteem, you go, why do people buy Mercedes-Benz cars as opposed to a Mazda? Right, because they want to feel they've earned it. They want to feel part of this better club or exclusive club, right? So that's self-esteem side, right? But and then there's belongingness, there's safety, just your house over your head. So how does it work in marketing? It works in a way that, all right, someone's got a product to sell. Why would someone buy it? They'd buy it for all those different reasons. It's do they buy your food because they're hungry? Yes. Do they buy it because they've feel package or I just want to, indulge or whatever. So they buy it. So you advertise to that. You just only look at all the ads that are on TV during dinner time. Hungry Jacks, a whole lot. They're all there. They're basically saying you're getting hungry. Bang, 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 bang. Hit them, right? So, but an advertising or marketing for a Mercedes-Benz or a good suit is going to be different because you're going to say you want to be part of this club. You want to be part of something special.
So you're still dealing with human emotions and
that's all you do.
Your drivers, etc. Just on probably at a slightly different level or slightly different degree. So where are you? So right now, where are you at with? When I say right now, back in your formative years, as in you're at going to high school, did you study marketing? What did you study at uni to get to?
I studied. I got an accounting degree. Right, my brother was an accountant. He did his degree, and we were down the Latrobe Valley, and there was only one university. It's the church. It was in Churchill.
Hello.
It was a Gippsland Institute of Advanced Education.
Right.
Yeah. So you went in there. They either had the sciences or the engineering, and I wasn't going to go there. Or
do you want to break anything?
No. I just didn't want to be the Dunstan Cry again. So the other was business, and business. The mainstream of business was always accounting. Yeah. So I did that, and I didn't get accounting. You put debits, credits. Who cares? It's money. Is it in the bank? Yeah. I got you. I don't care where you put it. Yeah. But they did, and this is a while ago.
Yeah. No, you could say.
This is during the mid 80s. Yeah. Right? And they had one marketing subject. Right. It was an African fellow. His name is Gabriel Okamokan.
Wow, you can remember.
I do.
Wow.
Because the economics subjects, fine, no problem. Accounting, struggled. But this, I liked it, psychology, because we also did psychology classes too in business, and I liked it. And then they sort of add that to the psychology stream kind of thing, because they were thinking about bringing marketing in, believe it or not, marketing as a degree. So they didn't have it then.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I did that class and I was just like, this is unbelievable.
Well, it was like duck to water, was it?
Yeah, this is good.
What was it that really, was it just a complete package, or was the psychological aspect?
It's the psychology. It's like you're watching you were seeing that ad on TV, and I, believe it or not, I actually liked that. I thought they were interesting. Mind you, in our day, there were things like, where do you get it? And all those tactics, which did work, by the way.
Yeah.
Senio was a great man. Oh, still is, I think. Cut that out. I liked it. But then to find out what's happening behind the scenes of those ads,
right,
it made a lot of sense. It was like, oh, wow, this is what they're doing. And as even later on because I left my degree, and we can get onto that later if you want, but even later when I started doing the marketing subjects, to find out that if an ad annoys you or you're not interested, they're not targeting you. And to realize that, to go, well, why is that on my, that's dumb product. But you're not their target audience. That's why you don't like it. Skip past,
That's really interesting. That's really interesting, because a lot of people would default the other way and go, oh, they really haven't done a good job there because it doesn't appeal to me. But the reality was, it was never meant to appeal to you.
No.
That's really interesting. I've never really thought about it like that.
Because and this is where a lot of the modern marketing, I can't knock modern marketing, I live it, right? But a lot of it is scatter. Just get as many as you can, right? Ads and things, just get as many as you can. But if you can work out who your target is, who you really, really want to target, then you can make it somewhat simpler. But there's a lot of groundwork you got to do.
Do you think the scatter, and this thought came to me, do you think the scatter approach is due to the fact that in Australia we've got a smallish population. Whereas if you and I went to America or China, we're selling to millions. In the case of China, over 1 billion people. So if we don't need even to get the same percentage to come and buy our product or our service. So we could really target and still get millions of people. Whereas in Australia, you got 27 million. So yeah, effectively you studied in Gippsland, and you really like the marketing side of things. And by the sound of from this, it's a psychological, the connection of human beings and the market. What next? What happened after that? So
what happened after that? I quit uni and decided to go on a trip overseas with my brother.
Wow.
And so I got a job and worked construction down there and building Loy Yang power station.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You're involved with that.
I worked on the one of the towers, not the big the water towers, the other ones straight up there.
Wow.
I was steel fixing. So I was on a crew doing the Rio.
Wow.
Running around all the way up.
Oh boy.
Yeah. It was good money.
I was going to say it would have been great money.
Really good money. It was 10 days on, 4 days off. Right. And those 4 days were good. But it was slit form engineering, which means we normally have a concrete where you have it and you do all the Rio and you got the borders and you go up and then you do it again and you wait up. With slit form, it constantly goes up non-stop.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was a constant pour, and we had like a 6-month contract.
Wow.
Yeah. And no, really good. Yeah. And basically I went over to London for a year from brother. I just worked and just enjoyed it. So took my time off.
Drank a lot?
Drunk?
Drank a lot, yeah.
In London?
Yeah.
Just
two fingers.
just a nip here or two. No. Wow. But yeah, no, that was fantastic. I loved being in London. It was just, it was 1989. So it was really, still in the 80s. It was still,
a lot more freedom back then, I think, for everything.
Yeah, absolutely. They had to doing it political, but they had a lot of pride in themselves.
Yeah.
Who they were, and it's changed now. So, and I've seen the changes over the years, because I've always gone back there. Then I came back. I came back. Doesn't matter what happened in my personal life. Got work in sales, in gas, industrial gases, and then just at one stage I thought, I hate doing this, and my partner at the time said, if you hate it now, you're going to hate it in 10 years. Yeah. And I said, well, yeah.
Good, wise words.
Yeah. And so I decided to do night school, go back to university and do night school and do a marketing degree. We're in the city. I was in the city. So there were marketing degrees at that stage, which is good. And I did RMIT, and took me years, night school and studying on the weekends. And 99, I graduated. So I was very happy with that, and then couldn't get a marketing role.
Wow. Why was that, do you think? Was it just the timing?
It's like everything. In those days, it was like, you've got no experience.
Classic.
Yeah.
It's a catch-22, isn't it, with that kind of scenario?
Exactly. Yeah. So I've been in sales. I know how to deal with customers. I know how to, profile our market, but no, so, but that's okay. That happens, and then, but I did get one good gig, if you can call it that, when, remember Connex trains?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, they brought it's not e-commerce, but a digital marketing role. And basically what we were doing, and I was the general manager of it, because how did I get to be a general manager?
Yeah, exactly. I was just thinking, you made this quantum leap.
You jumped. Yeah. I had contact. No, but I did have a contact, and I started off as a business development role. And then what it was they wanted to create, e-commerce things with the trains.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, we didn't have the whole network. We only had half the network.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right.
But they wanted to create websites. This is 2001.
So they're ahead of their time.
Way ahead, you know. So, and I was managing this department, right? And we did the first SMS notifications in the world. So
Wow.
So when the people subscribed to this is the phones. They're not the phones we have
I know.
now,
Yeah.
right? These are actually text messages, and we were sending, if your train was late or delayed, we'd send a message.
My God, there must have been a lot of messages sent. I'm not joking.
They did lose the contract. No, they were great. I like.
Wow.
Yeah, and it came from at the time they were owned by a company called Vivendi in France, and it was massive. They own Universal.
I've heard of them. Yeah.
They're a massive company. And they started that in Paris, and then they decided to, because the only other train network they had was in Melbourne.
Wow.
The rest were buses, right? Well, they had a few little trains in London, but and then so my role there was to set up that department. So it's I was working with agencies then. They were my clients, and they're because it was Leo Burnett's agency at the time. And the guy I worked with, Rob Hittner, he ran something called, it might sound, everyone knows that, Leo Burnett's Digital, right? Because it's like, what do you mean by digital?
Yeah.
Now, because everyone knows, but then no.
Yeah, right.
We were dealing with things like websites, things like journey planners, things like mobile notifications, text messages, things like that. It was right at the cusp.
So they did all the hard work at the beginning.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
yeah, and that's what I mean. So
someone has to be first, though, don't they?
yeah, and that was the role, and I was like so excited to be part of it. It was called eMove, right? And all my friends just call me Mr. eMove because I just talked about it the whole time. And then here we go.
Here we go.
And then Vivendi's chairman or whatever, he was a really big brash guy, started spending a lot of money, and then they went down.
Right.
I started selling off.
Wow. Assets.
Yeah, assets, and then they moved both in Paris and Melbourne was the first to go. So yeah.
Is Connex still around?
Connex are, I believe so. I don't think so, but they'll be in London. But I know they were pretty big in Le Havre in France.
Yeah,
and a few of those sort of provincial towns, if you will.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't really know. I haven't really sort of kept in touch with the people because I was there for about 2 years. So but I remember just thinking, this is groundbreaking. This is really, and my role was to talk to people like, as well as setting it up, but to talk to people like coffee shops and say, listen, if you subscribe or whatever, could working out a deal with them to say, okay, someone's late or the train's late, go to Hudson's Coffee, I think it was Hudson's Coffee at the time, get yourself a free coffee.
Right.
And what the concept there was, and I used to go around Melbourne presenting this to these companies, right? The concept was, we will bring people into your shop.
I can see that.
Yeah. So it was really early stage.
Was it a subscription kind of thing?
No, yeah, they just sign up. Yeah, just sign up. Yeah, sign up, and you give your mobile number, name, mobile, and what line you're on.
Right.
I mean, we had to build software and everything to work that out, because it's incredible, because you had to go that line, that station, that time.
Right.
So it was pretty complicated.
It would have been.
Yeah, but it was just so exciting, and I love that the idea of touching people. That sounds bad. That sounds bad, but it's like
I know what you mean.
Yeah, you're making an effect on someone's life. You're helping someone.
There's a direct connection there, isn't it? Yeah.
I really liked it. And I thought this is a great idea. I'm sure I haven't really followed what's happened since. I'm sure they're doing wonderful stuff now. The metro. I don't know. I don't catch the trains,
obviously, like this up close and personal aspect is one of the reasons I suppose you've got assertive marketing. But we'll get there. It was just what happened after the whole, whole train thing.
Okay, after Connex, my heart was broken, because it happened the week I got married.
Oh shit!
So I tried.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, and we just bought a new house and everything. Yeah, and but it's just more. This is really going somewhere I wanted to go. Right?
You could see the potential. Yeah.
I could. And then I applied for a few jobs, and I don't know, they didn't see the connection, and then it's like, no, you still don't have enough experience and everything else.
Wow.
Yeah. I know.
Crikey, 2 years at
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. So I decided to do a real clever thing and write a film script.
Elaborate, please.
Okay. I in the late 90s, I started to write a book about my life. God knows why. I don't know why. I hadn't done anything, but I thought, yeah, I think it's important.
Wow.
Yeah. And I sent that off to a service, and came back. This person has no potential to rub the. Hello.
They didn't say that.
Oh, they did.
Really?
So I said, film scripts, they're easier.
Right.
And they are not easier.
No, I heard that. Yes.
There's a saying in the script world, it's like, it's easier to write 100-page letter than a paragraph.
Yeah.
To tell you someone how you feel or what your thoughts are. So I tried that. I did get it to a Hollywood agent. We did get it.
Really?
I did, yes.
And they said, what did they say?
Who were you? No, they did that. No, they actually passed on it. They did pass on it, and they gave me suggestions of what I need to do. They said the first
Learn how to write. I said,
yeah, exactly, right. Can you spell? No. But they said the first 20 minutes was gripping, but I lost it after there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I was pretty.
Wow.
Yeah, and that took about maybe 2 years of not working or working part time. I did work. I'd do a lot of cold calling for companies. I'd come in, do some cold calling and stuff like that.
That's hard, yeah. Okay.
It is. But once you get the routine going, it's. I created a routine for myself. Ended up, I went for one company. Ended up teaching the new people to come in what to do, because there is a certain technique, and if you want to later, when we talk about assertive marketing, there is a technique that I followed, or I can talk about later, and so I become quite good at it. Just doing that thing where you're not annoying people, but talking to, because telemarketers are annoying, right?
It's that's wow.
So then I decided to get into it. I was there for about maybe a year and a half, and then I decided to go back into the workplace. So I still have a wonderful wife who supported me all the way through that. And then, sort of go back in and I got a marketing role, which is really good. So I was in there, but I had been doing marketing since even before the degree, helping, I've got two brothers who run a business. I was helping them with their business and things like that, and giving people advice and that stuff, but not really. I just wanted a marketing manager's role, but I didn't think of what I'd do later. Put it that way. So I'd always want the wage.
Do you think, like with marketing, and I think we've had this conversation before, that if I've got a project, let's say, and I've got a project and I finish that project and complete it in 3 months and I have a tangible outcome. Marketing is a little bit different, isn't it? Because the outcomes are not always immediately apparent. And how do you temper your clients or people's expectations when you're not going to see, in a lot of cases, this instantaneous. Oh, now I've got 10 widgets and before I only had 2. How do you convey that?
Still trying to work that out. It's
hard, isn't it? It's really hard.
Especially in the marketing we do. As I said earlier, we don't do advertising, as in Google Ads. We just don't do that, right? We do more branding stuff. We do more content stuff.
Mhm.
We do stuff that it's like it'll get you noticed,
Oh,
right? It'll get you. People start to understand. Oh, those guys. I know those guys. I see them on my feed. It'll get you noticed, right? Now I need to explain to them all that this is not going to happen overnight.
but it will happen.
It will, I know. But I'll even say this. But if you want something overnight, perhaps we're not the ones to help you.
Wow.
I have
Right.
to.
So humanity, right from the word go, you're separating the wheat from the chaff, really.
I have
Yeah, because time is very precious. All right, we'll get back to it.
Mhm.
We're still on that the whole career progression until we met at CTEC in 2010.
10?
Was it 11-ish? Yeah.
Oh, you come later. Yeah, I was
Okay.
there. Yeah,
I came later.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was there? So you're in this marketing role now, and what happened after that?
I trying to think. The marketing role came after I did a stint. Yeah, I'm not going to believe this.
Yes.
I actually did a stint as a personal trainer.
Yeah. Right. No, I
Yeah.
can believe that.
With my brother. I used to help him with his marketing.
Yeah. Wow.
And I've had a bit of a fluctuating thing with my weight since I was about 18. And so I said to him, I'm helping him with his marketing, doing basic stuff there, yeah, as a part-time thing.
Mm.
Right? And I said, I'd like to lose weight. Can you? Yeah, but I want to pay for it. I don't want to be taking. He's going to be freebies. You know, I'll pay. And got to a certain stage, and then I become a personal trainer. And I helped him with his marketing, but I become a trainer, and I hated it.
Really? But
Well,
you like the physical. You like
I
exercise.
love working out. Yeah, the best sessions I'd have would be with certain people who you go, all right, let's do a session together, you and I, and they love it. They love it, and I'd like it too because I enjoy working out, right? But the rest was long hours, very little. You know, it was very taxing. Because I lived in Berwick, he was in Blackburn. Oh, his studios in Blackburn. I would have to leave like 4:30 in the morning.
Whoa. Yes.
And then you have the 6 o'clock peak or 5:30 peak to about 9.
Yeah. Wow.
Then nothing. And then you'd have about 3:30 till about 8.
Oh,
And if I went home, there was no point going home. Yes.
there's
So it was a lot of long.
not good for family life, really.
No, it was very, so then we ended that, and I said no. And then I got a marketing role with a company called Trio Datacom, who were a family business, and they sold their business to someone else, a venture capitalist, but they were still run like a family business. And yeah, that was really when I got into the manufacturing side of things, and then after that I went to CTEC.
So CTEC was, and just fill in the gaps if I missed anything. CTEC are a manufacturing company that did some pretty interesting stuff. There was stuff done for the Australian Defence Force. There was rooms at CTEC where I'd never even got into, like but when I came on board, they just developed a renewable energy department and basically around a product called the Power Router, which we imported from Holland, the Netherlands.
Yes.
An all-in-one hybrid inverter. But was the Power Router there already so were you brought in when they brought in the Power Router or before?
I was before.
Yeah, right.
Which is my introduction to that industry.
Yeah.
To the renewable industry.
Yeah.
I work closely with the CEO,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd be his research wing. So he'd, can you find out what grid tied inverters are available to import?
Wow.
Wikipedia.
Yeah.
What's grid tie? Seriously?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
wow.
But the thing is, I'd always been involved in electronics, Borrow data come with a data radio, so it's all electronics. So I knew that.
You knew that industry, yeah.
Yeah, and then to go to CTEC. But yeah, we did a lot of research, finding out, and then we found the power router.
The power router. That's why. So you found it? Wow.
Yeah, we found it. Yeah, yeah. And just by going through, because we were going to do another one. I forgot what it was. I don't know what it was. Forgotten it now, but it was forgotten. Yeah.
What, a hybrid one as well?
No.
Oh, straight out grid type.
It was just an inverter. He wanted to give us the in strip there. Oh, yeah. And some of the research we did, like, the connectors, right? He wanted to bring in some of those from obviously China.
Right.
So he got what I said, well, let's find out whether the market wants it, right? And he goes, well, how do we do that? I said, well, we talk to them. and I've done a lot of, as I said earlier, the cold calling and the research cold calling, right? And I just said, look, I'll do it. I'll start going through. And I just started calling all these installers. I was like, yeah, do you use these particular thing? Yeah, we do, blah, blah. Where do you get them from? And just find out information.
Wow.
Put it back, present it to him.
Yeah, MC4s. You're talking about the DC connectors, the MC4s.
MC4s. And then I'd present that to him for him to make a decision. And that's marketing, by the way.
Absolutely it is.
So, and then we started looking at, the inverters and things. He wanted to do the whole lot because he was an entrepreneur. So, and then we looked at it. Then we found the NADAP.
Yep.
Yeah. Found the Perorata. And, that's when we started to be interviewed by them pretty much. Yeah.
That was it was an interesting time. And looking back, obviously, it was the concept of the product was amazing. They were ahead of their time. They had a few issues for a very young engineering team. We won't go into nitty gritty because a lot of it's on NDA stuff, but sufficient to say it had an incredibly low IP rating. Effectively, a wet paper bag was more weatherproof than this product. And the crap we had to go through, because we were importing them direct. We were the wholesaler, and we had to do all. Remember, we had to actually program them at CTEC.
Yes.
Remember going through that whole process? That was just, it was so laborious. But we did have a bit of fun.
I was going to say, a lot of fun.
We did have a lot of fun, and you and I went to New Zealand. I got some stories there.
Remember we had the like a model. There was nothing in of it.
Tell us,
And the lady at the the car hire,
yes,
says, do you want to get insurance? I said, yeah, no, not really. Or inside insurance. No, not really. She says, I reckon you should.
And we looked at each other and went, yeah, okay, we will.
Yeah.
And then
the car got burgled in the parking lot of the hotel.
It got burgled, and this shell. So imagine this thing that was maybe 800 wide by about maybe 600 high by about maybe 200, 150 deep.
Fluorescent green.
Fluorescent green. It got stolen out of that car. And the joke was, well, I remember at the time I said, there's probably some stoners who had this on their coffee table going, man, what the fuck is this? But we were so lucky and smart that we listened to our intuition and the person there, that we didn't have to pay a cent, thank God, even though they smashed the window.
Bizarre.
And what about our food expense? Remember we went to that restaurant and God, tell the story. We had to be, well, he asked for our boss at the time when we got back to Australia, asked for reimbursement, which I think you paid, which I didn't.
Fuck yeah.
That was ridiculous.
I ate too much, guys.
We ate too much and drank some expensive wine.
I was going to say, yeah, eating.
Yeah. It was, but look, that was funny because we went over there to try develop a wholesale market for the product in New Zealand. Because it was, like, we're talking early days where there wasn't any other hybrid inverter. There was the Selectronic around and the Sunny Island from SMA, but that required a grid-tied inverter. This thing was all in one, and now there's quite a few of them.
Yeah, it's interesting because when I was looking for roles after the Selectronic role, we haven't gone for that. But
Yeah, we have.
okay. I met a company who was very well known, and I started talking about the hybrid stuff and the battery stuff.
Right.
The American company, they didn't even know what it was.
Wow.
I'm going, serious? This is about 2012.
Whoa.
Yeah, and they didn't even know what it was. It's like, so you're just purely solar. Well, we must be advanced here in Australia because this is coming.
Yeah,
real quick.
yeah.
But it's mind you, even in those days, we knew the hybrid, or wisdom was hybrid, but we knew off grid, and there were certain groups of people, did a hybrid, and they generally bought this electronic.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, but the rest weren't.
It was a smallish market.
Yeah.
I mean, and you got to remember, it was like after the John Howard $8,000 for the your standard grid connect inverter stuff and all of that. And look, I still think that the meetup was. It's all about timing. A lot of stuff, isn't it? They were a little bit early, but it was an amazing idea, just poorly executed in the end. Like because now it's all about batteries. It's all about batteries.
Yeah.
What's the main thing you learned from working at CTEC? Like,
working in a good team. Like there was that team that we had. It was the Dutch kid, Martijn.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. Rob Moss, and yourself and me. And I learned so much from you guys. You were out lecturing each other. You were going, no, I'll teach him this, and Rob's going, no, I'll teach him this. I'll teach him the right way.
Rob knew his stuff.
Yeah, and I learned so much. What we used to do is, I'd look at, because I was obviously the marketing. I'd look at the tech sheets, and we'd do a document and say, okay, it has this here, yeah, but what does it mean to the customer? And we'd be going through and just adding, it means this means that, this means more efficient, this means more power, this means, and just having that process was just I thought it was brilliant, because I really started to learn exactly what you need to do to market this, because it's great to say, yeah, solar is fantastic and batteries are fantastic, but someone's got to buy it.
Correct.
And if they don't know what value they can get from it, they're not going to buy it. So technical stuff, that's great for when we were distributors, so that's okay. Yeah. We're talking to technical people here, but it helps to know how they can sell it too.
That's exactly right. Because you're right. It's you need a bit of technical, but at the same time, you did right. Because we were the wholesalers of that product. Look, for me, it was a very interesting time. I'd never been made redundant before in my life. That was a weird thing for me, and because I afterwards was made redundant, and when the power outage basically buggered up, the whole thing just went shite, and then myself and Rob, we went, and I know after CTEC, you went to Selectronic.
Yeah, well, I'd left. Before.
Yeah, that's right.
Before I can get my redundancy.
Yes, time. It's all about time.
Yeah.
It was.
And that was an interesting experience. The Selectronic experience. I wanted to take on the world because of what things we used to talk. Yeah. I wanted to take on everything. I wanted the SP Pro to be everywhere, but they weren't ready for it, and so I wanted to change something that had been going for since 1964, and I wanted to do it really quickly, and that was probably, it wasn't the right thing to do.
But that's hard though, isn't it? When you're in the position, like, you don't own the business, right? It's someone else's business, but you're in this position, you see this potential, and you want to do certain things, but you're tempered by the reality, the expectations, the vision, the goals, the objectives of people above.
I thought this is a fantastic product, and it is.
It is fantastic.
Everyone I took, incredible.
It
nice.
is.
But I wanted to do it really quickly. I wanted to make myself the man.
So was it a judgment call, you reckon, for you, or?
I think I just got overexcited. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, overexcited. Yeah. It's that thing where you want to make a mark in the world.
Yes.
And you want to, but I also have this thing where I want to help companies, I want to help them grow, because otherwise, what's the point of me? If
it comes back to the relationship, doesn't it?
Yeah. But as I said, now really good friends with Lindsay. He even mentioned me in his farewell speech at Sea of Vic.
Yes. Right.
So yeah,
Because he's retired now, isn't
he
he?
has retired.
They're talking about Lindsay Hart, who was at Selectronic for many years. He left for a little. He left for a little while many years ago, and then came back, like the returning son kind of thing, the prodigal son. He's a bit of a legend. Well, he's definitely a legend,
Definitely.
in every shape of in every meaning of the word. So Selectronic, so we're talking straight after Selectronic. What happened? Where was your mind? You left Selectronic. What's going on in Gerard's mind?
I tried to get a job straight away, and couldn't. Right, I don't know what happened. It was just a bad period, you know. I actually was out of work for 11 months. Almost sold the house.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bet you're glad you didn't do that.
Oh, tell me about it. Yeah.
Mm.
No, and yeah. So it was pretty dire. I call them the troubles. And it was a period. Yeah. Because
That's a reference to Northern Ireland.
it is, yeah.
And well done.
Sorry to all my cousins and relatives there. I think he went for a bit more. So
Yes.
and then I got a job with a totally out of the industry, Australian Road Research Board. And I hated it, and it was horrible because they're all doctors, PhD doctors, right? But it's the kind of place that in what they call is pavement, which is the roads.
Right.
And it's the kind of place, if you get a heart attack and you ask for a doctor there, they will just all look at you.
Oh.
Because it's not that kind of doctor. And I asked Janice, I said, can I quit? I can't do this anymore. I cannot do this working for someone anymore. I can't, there's something not right. Right? And she said, of course you can. Yeah. Amazing. And
You're lucky.
yeah, amazing. And so I did, and then I started, you look for a few jobs. I thought, no, it's not there. This, I don't want a job. I want to contribute. I want to do something. And then, poor girl, my wife. Then I sat her down, and I said, I've got an idea. Can you give me? Because she was, she works. Yeah, I said, can you give me a few months? I just need to, I told her what it was. It was the birth of assertive marketing. And it was. I said, I just think there's a niche here. I just think, and then the niche was that, working with CTech, working with 3hour.com, and working with Selectronic, people like that. In those days, they didn't have a marketing budget. So I used to use that freelancers, to do a website or to do a brochure or whatever, right? And I thought, instead of, I wanted to be but mind you, in between this time, I'd worked with a digital agency, cold calling for them. And I learned a lot. I learned a lot from those guys, and because a friend of mine, he'd been in the industry for years. And I learned a lot about how an agency works, right? But then I put it together. I said, there's a niche here. There's a lot of family businesses, small manufacturers who, one, cannot hire a marketing manager. And two, if they do, they don't have a budget.
Yeah.
Or they're just doing it themselves.
Yeah, and they're time poor. That's the thing, isn't it?
Absolutely. And when if anyone knows, right, when you are busy and you're trying to get something done, you can't think. And if you go, no, I know I need to do this marketing stuff, but then you get caught and then you go, you can't do it, right? So I thought, if I can get into that smaller business, and give them good marketing, right, but it's affordable, I reckon I can hit. There's a niche there. I reckon no one's doing it. No one's looking at. There are people doing it, but they're, probably foreign people, and they're doing the Google thing.
Oh, yes. Yeah, right.
No, I didn't mean foreign. I mean,
I understand.
Yeah. And so I thought, no, if you can have a real presence in Melbourne, I can sit with them and meet every week and I'm their marketing manager or I'm their marketing department and get this stuff done. If you need a new website, then we get that done for you, but you're not paying, thousands and thousands of dollars for it. If you need a marketing campaign done, we'll get your brochures done. It's not, it's in your reach. And that's where I thought assertive marketing will fill that gap.
Because if those small businesses don't incorporate some kind of marketing strategy, you get left behind in this day and age. And it's because everyone is so visually educated. There's marketing everywhere. We're bombarded. If you're not doing anything at all, you're at a severe disadvantage. That's what it's saying. That's the reality, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the guys from Darnacom said to me, he said, we have the best product, if not in Australia, the world.
Wow.
But there's no point having the biggest secret in the world either, because no one knows about it.
That's the thing, isn't it? And you have to. People have to know.
Yeah.
And that's one of the roles of marketing, isn't it?
And
getting it out there.
As we said, that's your job to get us known.
Because a lot of business owners sort of know what they need, but they either don't have the time or don't know how to achieve it, or both.
Yeah.
Because we're all tempted by that finite reality, We're all going to die at the end of the day, and we've only got X amount of hours in the day, and how do we choose to spend it? It's a really important point. Is that something that you talk at length with your customers, that they are time poor?
It's implied.
Yeah.
It's implied. Before I even sit with them or talk to them on the phone, they know.
Mm-hmm.
They know this is what they can't do, but just not enough hours in their life, so that sort of comes with that agreement that, I'm going to clear that for you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do it really well, and that's something else you couldn't do. I'm never going to do a little course and something, but, it's the knowledge and experience that we bring to that time.
So you've concentrated initially, with people in the renewable energy industry because you understand. You had C-Tech, you had with that other company that was involved with electronics, etc. So you understand that kind of engine, even though you're not an engineer, as you said, you break things and stuff like that. But you understand how their mindset works, and you also understand business and marketing. So it sounds like it was a natural fit for you to actually start the business in the first place.
I think so. I wouldn't have done it otherwise.
Yeah.
I just felt there's something, there's a synergy that wasn't working, and this has got to be it. Those jobs that I did those marketing roles in, I did very well, So there's something there, and there's also a thing where when I initially go in, it is a quick fix. I can go in and go, okay, let's get this done, and have the plan.
Right.
And then action it.
Right.
Where it's not like, what do we want to do? It's
okay.
It's I know exactly what to do, So I'm just coming in and, all right, day one, we're going. Let's go. And that's great, because they don't have time to say, oh, let's get giving you money. Your work out.
That would be disingenuous, and also it would, at the end of the day, the business owner could get a little bit miffed if that was the case. So you're walking in with a plan, and not only the plan of how you got a plan of how to implement this, and you've got your goals and objectives, etc. And that makes it. That obviously really helps with people's mindset. Because if you go in there and you don't have a plan, you're just like, what are we doing? Type thing. So that happens a lot, though, doesn't it?
Yeah,
with a lot of.
Well, that's it, and that's I suppose the kickoff meeting. You if you look at the sale process, you tell them this is what we could do. Okay.
Oh, let's stop right there. I've come in, I've heard about you. I've been referred, but I'm a small business, and I know you've sort of branched out into other non-renewable energy businesses, but it seems like from what you said, a lot of your customers are like small engineering firms and manufacturers, and you've kept to that kind of client base. So I've heard about you, and I've got no marketing budget. I employ 5 or 6 people. I make a fantastic product. It's made in Melbourne. What's the process? I come to you, and where do we go from there?
Okay. We obviously talk about who you are, who your target is, who your competitors are. By the way, I've already done that research. I've already done the research on before I've even met them. So we're basically we're refining things,
Right.
that I've told. I'll tell you a story. I met a guy called Dennis Iliopoulos. He runs a company called Indratech, right?
How do you pronounce spell that?
Iliopoulos or Indratech?
No, the company name. Yeah.
Indrotech.
Right.
Because this is how I started Assertive Marketing.
Right.
I did my research, I did my brochures and things, and walked around the factories and just walked in. Hi, I'm Gerard from...
Wow.
Yeah.
Old style.
Because it actually come from an idea where I did that for Trent. Yeah, for a little while. And I created a brochure, and because this is when I was in between.
Yeah.
I went around. Basically, it's the process is you knock on the door. You don't sell to them because they're busy.
Yeah.
You're taking their time. Don't do it. Here's a bit of information. Give it to the person who needs to look at it, or yourself.
Yep.
I'll give you a call in a few days.
Yep.
And then then the process happens. And then this is sales 101, right? So I did that. So I said I was doing it for Trent, and then I actually thought to myself, because this is as I'm thinking, I could be doing this for myself, knocking on doors.
Wow.
Okay, it's closer and closer.
Yeah.
And that's when I sat down with Janice and said, "Can you give me 3 months?" And she knew about it. I think, she said, "Sure, okay." Again, sure. And so
you approached this Dennis fellow.
Yeah, I approached him, and he's this. I walked into his factory. Right, it was little at the time. And he's stacking the truck to take out on the delivery. And I said, he goes, "Oh, can I help you, mate?" I said, "Yeah, can you speak to the boss?" "Yeah, speaking." "Oh, okay." Blah, blah. Went from a quick little spiel, this is who I am, blah, blah. Do you have anyone doing your marketing? He goes, "No, I don't, but come in."
He's got time for you right then and there.
Yeah, because
wow.
He had to go back in the office anyway to get something. He said, "Just come walk with me." This guy is one of the coolest guys I've met, right? And mind you, this is it's right at the time. It's 11 years ago, and so he was sitting there and he goes, "Yeah, look, have I done marketing? Yes. Have I done? Yes." And he said, "What makes you different?" I said, "Well, told him back to my spiel kind of thing. Yeah. And he's like, "I'll tell you what, I've worked with marketing people before and none of them know my business. And it never works. If you can tell me my business, I'll give you a go. Not now. Go back."
Wow.
And I thought, this is the second week.
Yes.
I was going to re-get it.
Right?
Right, yeah. And then he goes, "Now I'm just about to go for holidays to Greece for the next 8 weeks." Really? There goes that sound. Yeah. "I'm coming back on this date. If you can tell me what I do, then we'll talk."
Wow.
And I went, "Okay, I'll do that." And he told me the date. "I'm back on the 20th. Give me a call on the 21st.
What?
Yeah. I did that, and I met him on the Wednesday, the next day, right? And went through. And he just went, "Wow," because "I'll give it to you. You've done your research." I said, "Yeah, I know, but I'm sure there's more that you know about it than I do, but this is where I see. This is what I see." And he goes, "All right, good. Let's start."
Wow.
He is still with me today.
Wow, he was your first cut, and he's still with you there.
Still with today.
How many years later now are we talking? So
we're talking, we're in the 11th year now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I met with him on Friday. I said, "Look, I'm going to mention you in the podcast."
And he didn't mind that. Wow, that's very cool.
Yeah. But it was very
So what do they do? Let's go to what does Dennis actually do?
They manufacture industrial fans.
Right.
Right. It's not for HVAC, not those things. It's industrial fans for moving
Large quantities of air. Yeah.
Yeah, things like that. They do a lot. They manufacture them, but they do something really unique. They also balance. That's where the rotational thing, right? In a row.
Yeah.
Right. Now, about balancing is a very specialized thing. But it's why they also do drive shafts, and drive shafts need to be balanced perfectly.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Right. So that part of it. So they do drive shafts, the balancing of the drive shafts. They do fans and the balancing of the fans and balancing of anything. So normally in any situation in that industry, a fan guy would do the fan stuff. He might do a little bit of balancing, but they get off. They generally go to him to balance it. But he does the whole lot, and it's quite unique. And he's getting bigger and bigger. This guy, the old factory that I walked in on, I've seen him move to his new factory in 2017. So,
wow.
Yeah, it's 3 times as big.
And this is a product made in Melbourne.
Made in Melbourne. Yeah.
Wow. And he sells it overseas a lot.
It generally around Australia.
Okay.
Yeah. Because there's our manufacturers around the world, fan manufacturers and things like that. So, but he is so respected. He is so. There are some products that he has. These drive shafts are under, that you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, right.
We can't mention.
No, fair enough. Yeah.
But yeah, it's the reliability is just incredible.
Obviously marketing, there's a certain approach, a generic. I hesitate using the word generic, or let's say there's a marketing approach, but you're talking about a really specialized area. Like you're talking in engineering, you're talking manufacturing with manufacturing, engineering, and a real specialized area again. It's really niche. What's the approach to something that's that niche from a marketing perspective?
Well, one, as always, you got to talk to your market. Simple as that. Who's using it? Who needs it? So you've got to, you've got to focus on them. Right? Instead of just saying what we do, as I always say. What we did with him, there was a lot of strategies. Obviously, there's SEO things we got to do on the website. But we also started stories, a lot of stories about what he does, and a lot of there are so many. If you just get on his website, introtech.com.au, and have a look at what's new, you see all the different stories that
so these are like case studies.
Case studies, yeah. Case studies. Also, why? Yeah, we did one story. Why you shouldn't mess with your 4-wheel drive. Yeah. Bottom line was because the manufacturer had intended to make it that way. People do a handset, but here's the real warnings.
Yeah.
Why you shouldn't, because now they get the big, the shockers that put their shadows on there and things like that. And that's okay because they're done professionally. But yeah, he did a whole story why you shouldn't do it.
Interesting.
Yeah. Now we've also done stories on just different things, not quite how-tos, but just advice. If this is happening here, this is what it's probably happening. You're hearing a noise in the shaft or whatever, it may not be the fan. It could be something else.
Yeah, right.
Those kind of things. And the target there was the engineer who runs a plant or a manufacturing place, and something's gone wrong, and if it does go wrong, he shuts down.
Well, this is the thing.
Yeah.
It's critical to their production line or whatever processes. It can be very, very expensive. But so the marketing in that respect, it's catering to the fact that in our DNA we're all storytellers, and we want to hear stories, and we want to tell stories.
Absolutely, and we want more to hear. Yeah. It's So that's there is another story I had about my family that I was going to exemplify how content marketing works.
Please.
Stories works, right? It was 2005. My dad had been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. Mum died of Alzheimer's in the late 90s. and Dad had it, and he was getting to the stage where he was getting worse and worse, right? Now, we've obviously got a big family, and there's a lot of grandkids and everything else, and Dad lived in Maui still, at a little nursing home there, and because I was in Berwick, I was always the first call. Berwick's the class. Most of them scattered around Melbourne, and I just thought to myself, I've got to get these brothers more involved in Dad's life, right? One, because the grandchildren will forget who our parents were. I mean, I don't want that, and just to help out, and so they don't miss Dad or whatever. And when he does go, because it was inevitable, he's on the way out, right? And I used to, here's the Google Ads approach. I used to guilt them. Come on, guys, come on. Someone's got to go. Can someone get down and see Dad? I even sent out a schedule. All right, Frank, you're going this weekend. And I didn't realise they've all got busy lives, right? Not that I didn't, but that whole thing, buy now, get now. Yeah. So little did I know, but I decided to do a little documentary movie on, because I've always been creative, on Dad's life, Mum and Dad's life, and so I talk in the documentary. It's about the parents beforehand, or the grandparents, and how they got to come to Australia, and then Mum and Dad, how they met, and then all the boys, and then they have families, and it's a really nice thing, But it's that documentary that everyone's like, oh, this is good, and then bang, it hits you, and that's Mum died, and it was a real point, and then Dad's here, and I changed it and moved it up and got up and up and up. So you had that point where it hit low and then built, right? So what I did, technology then wasn't the best, so it took me hours editing, and my computer kept breaking down, so I sort of cut it short. But we had a day, it was a Boxing Day 2005, where all the families came to my house, and we had the screening of it. Yeah, I mean the screening, and after that, I mean, there's tears in the thing, and there was, let's watch it again kind of thing. I even had a Q&A with the director. How cool was that? Always wanted one of those, right? But I tell you what, they all pitched in after that. I didn't have to ask them.
Wow.
And that's when I thought, that's the power of telling a story, because they didn't have to. I'd be ringing up, Dad, what are you doing? Oh, I've got Frankie. I got Danny here. And you go, wow, that's powerful. And that was in 2005.
Wow.
Yeah. So what I do with a lot of our clients now is a very similar thing. And not this buy now. It's really tell them a story, tell them who you are, and tell them what you can do for them. And it works.
I think it works for many reasons, and one of them is that it allows people to make their own connections. When you're getting something force-fed, buy, do this, jump higher, jump this, that, and the other, has less effect because it sits by itself, whereas a story, you're gathering all these elements and coalescing them into this actual narrative, and then people also, as they're listening or reading, they're creating their own connections, which ends up being more powerful, allows people to come to their own conclusion, albeit it is a form of marketing, but it feels more real because it is more real, isn't it?
Absolutely. Because they see themselves in there.
That's the thing.
And that's it's the most important thing, because it's like, if you don't identify with the product, the person, whatever, then you don't want to deal with the product person. So that's, it's just, but it takes a lot of effort. I mean, I even say, what you've been doing is incredible. It's like, I'll give it to Eddie. He's backed it. I think it's paying off now, but he's backed it.
I think 100%. I think if you can, like in this world, do unto others what they do to you kind of thing. I know that's a bit of a Christian biblical thing. I'm not really that way inclined, but I believe that's quite a logical thing, right? How would I think? How would I feel if this happened to me, or if this was presented to me? And And that's what we try to do. And at the same time, because we honestly like passing on the information that we've learned throughout this industry, the mistakes we've made, because God damn it, you don't progress without mistakes. And so,
Put my hand up there.
yeah. Well, hey, we've all made a crap load of mistakes. I think it's really important, and also passion, because passion shines through. Now, we're living in a modern age, right? We're all visually educated. People look at fonts from a few years ago. Oh, that looks strange, and they don't even know why, but it's because that font's out of fashion. All that AI. I got to ask about AI and the role it plays with you personally, in your business, and just suggest some general thoughts on the whole AI thing. You know.
Oh, look. As for time, it's a lifesaver. It is just so good. I can, because I do write a lot of blogs for different people, or I call them stories. Yeah, they're blogs. And it just helps so much. I can do so much more with it. Need to check it though.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Well, yeah, it will make its own mind up, but it's changed what I do. It's given me so much more capacity to do it. You know, I don't use their photos or anything. I don't use
I find that a bit weird myself.
But as far as getting things done, you know, but the thing is too, is that it's got to be there before it's there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I wouldn't advise anyone to say, I'm going to do my own marketing. Do it with AI. You go, well, be careful. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, the way I see it, even like there's all these tools out there, but it comes down to this. I'm a business owner. My passion is my business, or I'm an electrician and I'm a business owner. My passion is doing electrical work. Yes, maybe I can try to do this. One, I don't like doing it. I'm not an expert. I won't be as effective. It takes time away from my family, my friends, my children, whatever. So why the hell wouldn't I go, let's find someone that's their job. They know how to do it better than me. I will pay them, because time is my most precious resource, and I want my business to succeed. So it doesn't matter if there's a million AI tools out there, right? I'd rather someone else do it.
That's right. I always go back to a story where I was in a sales meeting as a presentation meeting with an old boss of mine. This guy was really good. I learned so much from him. And we did research. There's a lot of places I haven't told you. We did research, market research for in industries, right? And we were talking to some company about the research, you know, and why they should use because we did industry research. All the figures, you know.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, the guy said, why do I need you? I can do that myself. And he goes, as in, you get one of your staff to do it. And this guy was so good at sales. He's listening. He's taking notes. He was actually drawing a little picture.
Wow.
Oh, that's how good of a sales guy this guy was. Right?
Yeah.
And he goes, I just want to pull you up on that. And he goes, what? He goes, can you clean your toilets? Can you clean toilets in your office? Yeah. He goes, but you don't, do you? And he goes, no, of course I don't. But you hire someone to do so, don't you? Yeah. Well, yeah. Then this is it very similar. You're hiring someone who actually knows what they're doing and will do it.
That's it.
Yeah. And the guy actually went, that's a good point.
It's a better point, because you can't really argue against it, right? And obviously, if you're the kind of business who wants to do everything, well, then you wouldn't even be having a conversation with assertive marketing. You'd be trying to do it yourself. But those kind of businesses tend not to last, because the reality is we've only got 24 hours of the day, and some of those hours we've got to actually sleep, and hopefully we're enjoying ourselves for a good deal of time, and we have to work. So it comes down to it's tempered by this time reality, and what do you want to do with your time? It's the same like we do grid applications. And some are more for the larger systems, and we do it for other companies, and some of the people our clients could do it. They could definitely, they're intellectually and qualification-wise, they can do it. But they can't do it as quickly, and they can't do it as well as us who are doing it all the time. And at the end of the day, most of them don't want to do it because they'd rather do stuff that they actually enjoy. And it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
And is that your approach too when you're talking to people when they say, maybe I can do this myself? Because you would have heard that. Mm-hmm. So what do you say when say, oh, look, I could do that myself? Do you say the same kind of?
First of all, you've got to have a budget because no one's going to do it for nothing.
Of course.
So if you don't have a budget, I'd really like to help you out, but you're better off doing it yourself because you're not going to get anyone. So once that's established, and generally you're talking to someone who knows that they're going to have to pay.
Right, good.
A certain amount. Yeah. So
good then.
Otherwise you just walk around
bye-bye.
Hanging out flies.
That's it.
So there's that thing where it's implied. Then you talk about, okay, what do you want to do? You've only got a certain budget, and that is okay. So what do we want to focus on?
Yes.
What do we, is there anything in particular? And that will be a market or a product.
Yep.
Or a problem that they've got, So, okay, then we go, all right, let's work out that problem. The rest we can work out later. And And even with us, of course we have standard fees, right?
Yeah.
And they're generally monthly, but we will work on a thing that's like, it's a monthly fee. Anything extra, a website and build it is extra, right? But the rest is this, and give us 3 months. If you're not feeling comfortable, if you're not feeling safe, because then we talk about that, because most agencies go 12 months.
Okay.
Give me 12 months.
Right.
So I say, give me 3 months. And if you're not feeling comfortable about it, then we walk.
Is that a good point of difference you find? Like or is it, do people appreciate that point of difference?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Right. Because I've had clients that have they've been with me and I have that, and then they've gone with someone else, but they locked them in. And they rang me up and said, Gerard, I'm stuck. I'm in this contract with these people, and they're doing nothing. Yeah. And it was one of those ones where they said, well, we'll do your SEO, but what we need to do, we need to build your website first.
Yeah, right.
Which I'd already built them the website. Right. 120 pages.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And so these people are going to do it all over again. But it's got to be on their platform. That's revenue. Right. So they actually went to the Fair Work or the commission.
Right.
Yeah.
ASIC.
No, whatever it is. Yeah.
Right.
The ombudsman or whatever to work out, whatever. I don't know what it is. Who actually said to the other people, you've got 3 months or 4 months, let it go. You've done nothing for these people.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how.
Is this a common story?
It was. I don't know if it is so much now. I don't really, because I don't. At the start, I thought, are these people the ones who are my competitors? Because it's an affordable marketing. So am I competing with the overseas? We'll get your number on Google and those people. Am I competing with these people? I don't know. I don't think I am now. So I'm seeing less and less of it because I'm not interested in it.
Yep.
But yeah, it is still common. I've heard stories, and they're just horror stories. And of course, then we helped her out, went back on board, and they're about to sell their business, which is fantastic.
Yeah, wow.
Exactly what you want.
Wow.
Yeah. So they're going to retire. They're having a great life, So
I've got to ask you about the name, Assertive. What, like a name? It's a really powerful thing. Why Assertive? Why not whatever else? How did you come to that name?
Okay, there is a story. It was years ago when I was working in the steel industry. I was a salesperson for sheet and coil. This is why I know manufacturing as well.
Yeah.
By the way. It's in my background. And I was going through rougher times, kind of. I met one guy. He used to go to me, Gerard, where did you go? It's like you just went off. I was going for a divorce, right? And so they kind of, I wasn't, I suppose, performing that well, and they used to take the mickey out of me a lot, the guys. As blokes too, but we were 30s, younger maybe, and so I had a friend of mine, and I said to her, I said, look, I've got to get real aggressive with these people. I've got to show them that that I can do this stuff, and I've got to just tell them, shut up, and I've got to do it. And she goes, no, aggression is getting you nowhere. You got to be assertive with them. I said, assertive? What do you mean? Well, you got to show them that you can do something. Don't just yell and tell people. And I thought, assertive. Yeah, I thought, what a good, and that's what assertive marketing is. It's telling small business that you can compete with those bigger companies, and you can show the world, instead of bragging, whatever, you just show the world what you can do. So that's where there's assertive, and I do get flack from it, from people. A couple of people, one bloke says, but assertive marketing, what do you just walk in and say, yeah.
At least it gets a conversation.
Yep.
Here, right?
Right.
Yeah, because I've often wondered about the name, but that makes sense.
It just resonated with me as well, because I did go back and change my approach and went, just started doing my job instead of not caring, and then I ended up being okay, ended up being one of the good workers. So it's just change the approach. You don't be aggressive. I find, like, Google AdWords and things is aggressive marketing. Yeah, that's good. It works, especially for consumer. Go for it. But to be assertive means you're showing the world your value.
Yep.
Yeah, instead of just shouting to the rooftops.
That's a really good point of distinction. Now, your business model has been this, I'll call it subscription based, because that's what it is. Are you adding to that kind of approach? You mentioned something off camera about more of a, I won't say more of a personal touch, but a slightly different approach for some businesses. What? Yeah, just expand on that a little bit.
I've actually, believe it or not, I've actually gone back to where I started.
Wow.
Which is, I'm your marketing manager. Or we are. So we're an outsourced marketing team, outsourced marketing manager, right? Where as we went along, because someone like Indra, that's what I was to him, and to him. I look after every aspect of his marketing, right? Planning the lot, right? And with some of the other customers, it was, we only want SEO. Okay, we can do that. Or we only want content. Okay, and we still will do that. If someone says, because I've worked with people who have had other agencies working with.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I've filled a gap.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, so it's just, if we can help, we can help.
Yeah, right.
We can't. Right? But this one is, we come in and we go, okay, let's be your marketing department. Because that was my original thought, because I know how to set up marketing departments. I know how to set up your marketing function. You buy a plan. Okay, get your newsletters all organised. Get this organised. Now let's action it. So it's still a subscription, but it's just a sort of I suppose a higher level of approach.
The more it's probably a closer relationship.
Absolutely.
And be quite intense too, wouldn't it? Like, in a good way, because you're really, I can't think of the word actually, but you're right in there, up close and personal.
Well, and that's the thing. Yeah, it's personal meetings too. If you need me in there for, a day, I'll be there for a day, because you need a marketing presence. You might have a marketing coordinator, someone who does, social media and stuff. But I've come in as a marketing manager and work with what you've got. If you've got something, I'll work within it. We will work within it. So it's more of a all-round approach to, instead of just grabbing little sections, which is still doable.
It seems like there's a lot of different. You've got clients who are actually asking for a lot of different things, and at the end of the day, something is better than nothing. If they're going, as you said, SEO, and they're stuck on that, right, then you'll provide that. Now, you've got a relationship with Sia, or you sort of had a relationship with Sia.
Sia Vic.
Yeah, Sia there.
Yeah.
Can you just talk about that a little bit? What that
Yeah.
meant to you, and what role you
Yeah.
actually.
It started, which another thing which started me thinking about doing assertive marketing was a guy called Paul McLaughlin. Do you know Paul?
Yeah, he used to be in Click Control.
Click Control.
Many years ago, but now he's moved.
He's Renewable Power Systems in Mudgee.
Yes.
Yes, he's a very, very good friend of mine. But when he was at Click and I was at Electronic, I come out and saw him about just about general things, and I looked at his proposals and I tweaked them.
Mm.
And then, because he said, I'm just not good, it's just simple stuff. I won't go through it, but just simple stuff. As a marketing mind, I tweaked it and helped him out, and he loved it. So I met him at All Energy one time, and he said he'd been talking to, Brian Hayes and all the guys from the committee, that they were interested in building Sia Vic. This is 9 years ago, right? And so I sat with, I sat with them and said, what do you want to do? And they said, well, we've got this little conference that we have, and it was little at the time, right? This little conference. And we think it's really good, but we want to increase the numbers. How do we do that? And so I pretty much would say, okay, I wrote him a plan, started that, and they said, okay, let's go ahead, let's do it. And then I started building, right? And it's very, very successful now. I would say it's it is the best conference of its ilk.
Wow.
In Australia. Absolutely. 2 days of the second day we have all the authorities, Solar Vic, Energy Safe, a lot. It's incredible who we have presenting.
That's great.
Yeah. And then the day before is industry day or learning day kind of thing, where different people come in, but it's all non-selling. It's all learning. And of course, we're a big gala event. It's a really great show. But what happened is all the old committee left, and I was only doing the communications.
Yeah, wow.
For a small retainer. They're a non-for-profit, so it's small retainer. And so then the new people come in, but they didn't know what to do with everything. So I just said, all right, I'll do it, because I'd been there for a few years. So I ended up doing everything, as running the meetings, running everything. It'll become a real big task, right? So, it's been really one of my success stories. But I've loved it. I love going there. I love just meeting with the sponsors. I love the installers. I don't get to meet the installers that much because they're all of each other. But when everyone's in the conference, I get to talk to the sponsors, and they're just unbelievable. It's like they're so appreciative, of what we've put together. And the committee too. Don't get me wrong. I'm not taking it's all me. It's not on me. I just do the comms and the administration of it. And in fact, it was almost, I was almost teary at the conference, where it's like, this is goodbye. Yeah, I've got to say goodbye to this thing. It's been 9 years. Wow. Yeah.
So that's a fair wake of your life. You know what I mean?
It's almost all of Assertive Marketing's journey. So, but see, I look at that too, and I go, there are people like Paul McLaughlin, like Dennis Eliopoulos, and even the guys at Click, right? Andy Morrill. I've been with them for even that same time, right? Is that they gave me a go, and that's you'll never forget those people. You'll never forget.
No, you don't.
Yeah, these are the ones that when you were, saying, "Oh, I'm doing really well," you weren't. Yeah. Had your poor wife out there working while you were, marching around the streets trying to, put that guy with the, he's got the drums and he's got the trumpet. He's all like, you're doing that stuff. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So I'll never forget those guys. Wow. Yeah, I love.
You've come a long way.
Yeah.
Have you got some final words for our listeners in regards to anyone who's contemplating going down the road of marketing, and they should, because they're crazy if you don't. What's the best thing they should do? How can they contact you?
Yeah.
What's the next steps?
Assertivemarketing.com.au, the website.
Yeah.
Give me a call on my mobile. I'm sure we'll be down the details down below.
We'll whack it in. Yeah.
Yeah. Just give us a call. Really. I've dealt with or worked with installers, a lot of installers. So there's scope there. It's not different to say, I've worked with companies. I work with companies, but I've helped installers as well. So don't think that you're too small or you're out of the picture, because the whole essence of what I do is the fact to say the agencies won't look at you. I will. I'll help you out.
That is great.
Yeah. So
I've had an absolute ball, as I knew I would.
Good.
We've talked about a lot of stuff, and I've actually learned some stuff, which is rare when I speak to you. No, I'm totally joking. Thanks so much, Gerard.
No,
thank you very much.
Sure.
Cheers.
Yeah, that's it.